everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing my second look in 31 days of Halloween. Today we are doing kind of this human garden type look. It's hard to explain, but this look has been living rent-free in my mind for the past like 4 Halloweens. So I have a lot of makeup here. I have a lot of SFX stuff. And I really don't know where to start. So I'm just gonna kind of wing it and you're gonna come with me. So let's get started. I am going to prime my eyes because we are gonna do our eyes first so we don't have any fallout. So I'm just taking my NYX white base on a dome shadow brush and start going in. And I put it on with a brush and then blend it with my fingers so that it warms up and gets any of the excess product off. So I'm going to start by going into the Aura and Out palette from ColourPop, and I'm going into Young Love, which is the matte white color, and we're just going to set this base so that it doesn't crease up on us. Now I'm going to take a matte pale pink shade. I want to do like really pretty pinks and greens for this look, so this is just a light kind of blush pink that I am taking on an angled fluffy brush, and we're going to start laying it down. Definitely not dark enough for the look that I want. So since that pink is not quite dark enough, I am going to go into this kind of hot pink in the Tanning X Makeup Revolution palette and tap off as much as I can and then mix it with that other blush pink that we used and kind of pack it on. This is much more the color that I was looking to get. Like, I keep seeing this Mother Nature costume, and I guess that's kind of what I'm going for, but it's more like a dark, gory kind of Mother Nature. Now I'm going into a matte green color. This is from my Big Elf palette that I have resting down here that just has a ton of colors in it that I like using for this kind of stuff. And we're gonna pack it on the lid. This is like a Kelly green kind of color. Just using a packing brush to get this on and make it as pigmented as possible. That brush that we used for the pink, the angled fluffy brush, I'm gonna blend the edges out. And I'm gonna go into the Aura and Out palette and dip into Healing Heart, which is this shimmery foiled green, and pack this on the inner corner up onto the lid. So now I'm going to do my base, and usually I don't show you guys this, but I figured today, since this is a different kind of look and I am going to be doing SFX, that I should show you how I do my base so that you can see how it looks, what products I use if you want to do this look yourself. So I'm going in with this Olay Whip Ultimate Priming Moisturizer. My skin has been really dry and my mom just gave me this, so I think it will be good for our foundation and you know, just all the stuff to stick down to. It's not going to be like a sticky gripping primer, but it's gonna give like my scar some moisture, which it desperately needs, and kind of just make our face look really fresh, even with like the matte products I'm going to be using, which is really nice. So before I get too much further, I think I should mention I did shave my face before I did this. I shaved my entire face with a little razor so that there is no excess hair on the sides or anywhere that I'm going to be putting my prosthetics later. So just wanted to throw that out there. So if you do this, I suggest you do that too, just so you don't rip the skin off your face when you go to take everything off. So now that we are primed, I'm going to take my foundation, which is the matte and Poreless Fit Me foundation. I'm going to be using a brush today to put this on. Do your foundation as normal because I'm not really sure where I'm going to lay all the prosthetics yet, so I just want to have a base everywhere. So I am just going to conceal under my eyes because I want it to be very bright. Like, I want this to be really pretty where it's supposed to be pretty and really not pretty where it's supposed to not be pretty. So I'm going to conceal a little bit more than I normally would. And I normally don't contour and highlight my nose, but I am going to do that today just to keep the effect I am trying to get going. So down my nose, like the little exclamation point. And then again, I'm just blending with my foundation brush, and then any extra edges I do with this little BH brush, just because I find that using the foundation brush helps blend it a lot better, because it already has my foundation color on it. So I feel like it's seamless and it's just easier to work with. I'm gonna put bronzer on my nose and stuff, but I'm just gonna start with the concealing portion. Now for brows, I'm going into the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow powder in caramel. This is their brow duo, because I am going to be wearing my kind of Merida looking wig. And I'm just gonna take a little angled brush and pick up a little bit of each color and do just a really soft, kind of fluffy looking brow. So I'm just going upwards with these strokes to give my brows volume. Do a brow like this, just make sure you don't have any gaps from where you pick up and put the brush down. So you might have to go underneath and like do a line just to fill in any gaps, but really I'm not too worried about them looking perfect. The base done, I'm going to finish off the eyes. So I'm going into this Makeup Revolution Reloaded Division palette, and I am going into this brown color, which is what we're going to use as liner. So I'm just going in with a liner brush. This is a BH11 brush from the Fairy Lights set. And we're going to create a little wing here. Right, and now I'm going to go in with a small packing brush and go into the color Fresh Cut, this bright green from the Aura and Out palette, and we're gonna pack this underneath our lid. Into the color New Age, which is this kind of teal with the same brush. I'm gonna pack this along the inner corner. So I threw my mascara and my lashes on. These are the Faux Mink Wispies from Ardell. I did cut them down quite a bit. I took about 4 knots off of each one just because they're really big for my eyes. So now we are going to contour our face with some bronzer. This is my Nude Wear bronzer from Physicians Formula, my tried and true. And we are just gonna contour and bronze. For blush, I'm going to be using Bella Bomba from Benefit. This is like my favorite blush ever. And for this look, I think it gives just a really nice natural sort of glow. And for highlight, I'm using Monster from ColourPop in a highlighting brush. And I'm just going to go down the nose with it. Cupid's bow. And even more so than I already did. I mean, we want to look like Mother Nature. We want to look like God-like. So the more highlight, the better. And for the lips, I am using this Revlon Ultra HD Matte Lip Color in Flirt, and it's kind of like a corally color. So if you just want a pretty Mother Nature look, you're doing like a regular traditional old Mother Nature look, this is where you stop. This is where we part ways. Thanks for coming. Subscribe. See you in the next one. See you tomorrow. But that's not what we're doing today on this channel. We're doing a gory Mother Nature. So I am going to be creating some special effects. I don't know how really to describe it. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean the area that I'm going to be using, which probably doesn't make sense because it's just all this makeup. Why would I take some of it off? But it's just to make the scar wax and everything else stick a little better. I'm going to take some flower petals that I took off of a fake flower, and we're going to put some spirit gum on them, and we're going to attach them around the eyebrow. So that way they look like they're coming out of the skin and they're like popping through. So after much trial and error, I do have the eyebrow piece done, and I don't think I'm going to use scar wax just because there's not really enough space here to put it. where I wouldn't rip my eyebrow off. So what we're gonna do is take some of the fake blood from Ben Nye. This is my favorite stage blood to use. It tastes like mint, if you were interested. And it comes out really dark, which I like. It's very fresh. This is like fresh blood. So I'm just gonna put it all along the bottom of the petals so that you can't really see where the seam is of where they would be. And I suggest doing this part before you put your costume on. Putting it on the petals too, so it looks like they pushed up through the skin. So kind of basically used my eyebrow as I would have the scar wax to make it the darkest part, and like that is where it is growing out of. So really just kind of layer the blood until it looks as realistic as you want it to. So I changed my outfit obviously and put my wig cap on because I'm going to add some flowers to like my neck and shoulders and arms and stuff, and then I'm going to do a hand piece, which I've never done before. So I'm gonna try and show you guys how I'm doing it, but I'm not sure how well it's gonna work. But anyway, I have a bunch of different artificial flowers here. So, oh god, this is itchy. I'm basically just going to break them apart and cut the stems off and try and attach them to my body somehow. So what I'm doing is I just slide the leaves off, and most of this green stuff just kind of pops off and you can just throw it away. And then pop off the flower and take all of the parts that hold it together off. I really like this yellow thing in the middle, but I don't think it's gonna stay with how I'm doing this look. So basically you wanna make this as light as you can. I'm gonna put some spirit gum on the back, get it nice and sticky. And then stick it to, we'll do it right here. That way it can kind of rest. So I just stuck to one layer here, and I am covering up the kind of hole with fake blood. So just making it look like, again, it's growing out of my skin. So just kind of bloodying up the underneath where it would be like running down, which I always suggest like building up so it looks more realistic. Now we're gonna do the hand. So the idea behind this hand piece is something that I think someone did for a Belle costume, and they made it look like a rose is growing out of their hand and a stem out of their arm. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I don't think I'm gonna be able to film it, but I will show you guys the end result. So I threw on my wig and I threw in some flowers in my hair, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little obsessed with myself right now because this looks way better than I thought it would. Here is the hand piece. I can't really twist my hand, but hopefully you guys can see. It is just fake blood, scar wax, and a flower cut in half. So it's super easy. If I am able to figure out a way to film it or find pictures or a good tutorial for you guys, I will link it down below. But yeah, I just put a little scar wax on my hand, stuck the flower down in it, and did the same on my arm. So this is the end of my Mother Nature look. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I had a lot of fun doing it. This is probably the longest I've ever taken to do a Halloween look. So yeah, hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you want to see more and stick around. So make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.